Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we've got another game of Battlefleet Gothic. It's mission number 4, I think, or is it 5? 5 blockade run. And these are the Chaos vessels who are trying to keep them from fleeing. I've got one Archon class heavy cruiser commanded by a Chaos Warmaster with one reroll. Leadership 8, and we've got one Devastation class cruiser only with a leadership of 7, and 2 small slaughters, both of them with a leadership of 7 only. Together these are 760 points.
The Space Marine fleet for today's battle is consisting of 2 strike cruisers with no upgrades. So for this battle they only have their standard shield, there's no secondary shield. And then there's 1 escort squadron, which is consisting of 2 Firestorm frigates. And my goal is to cross the table and make it through the blockade by the Chaos ship alive and leave over Marcus's table edge. Let's see if that is going to happen.
Okay, we are back after my first turn. We didn't stop my first turn to roll to show shooting results or stuff like that because I only moved towards the enemy. And even my long-range lances are more than 60 centimeters from Admiral Chris' forces, so I won't be able to harm them. But I've used my turn to dispatch 2 fighter and 2 bomber squadrons from what is called the Devastation class cruiser, and I hope this will be enough to cause some harm later on.
So not really much happened in this turn. I was able to successfully roll for an order of 1 of my strike cruisers. It's the one that is having full speed ahead, as depicted with the green dice behind its base. I immediately failed my second attempt to give them an order. My escort squadron, despite having a leadership of 9, failed and therefore could not go on full speed ahead, and because of that I also could not even try with the second strike cruiser to give them an order. And even though I'm in range to at least fire one of the bombardment cannons onto one of Marcus's cruisers, I decided against that because all I would cause is maybe dropping one of his shields. And as he is having 2 shields, it's not really making any significant impact whatsoever. I have yet to do my ordnance phase. My Thunderhawks that I deployed can travel up to 20. I'm going to use the Thunderhawk over here, which is easily within 20 centimeters that they can travel, to attack one of Marcus's squadrons. In such a case, my Thunderhawks count as a fighter. So fighters versus fighters would remove each other, but the Thunderhawk might stay in place if I roll a 4 up, thanks to the special rules. Yes, so I do survive the dogfight, however your fighters are gone. It's having no effect on the bombers. And with the wave over here, I'm going to send them just in the middle of the table. Maybe I can do something with them later. Better have them and not need them than the other way around. And that is it.
No debris markers to be removed. Yeah, I think that's the end of your first turn.
Yep.
Okay, we are back after my second movement, and as you can see, I tried to harm the 2 battle cruisers of the Space Marine fleet, and unfortunately I wasn't able to do to target the escorts. I'm not on orders, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to turn the way I wanted to. I was really lucky over there because I managed to do a reload, and therefore will have even more fighters and bombers in the ordnance phase, maybe resulting in harming or crippling this one. I'd prefer crippling in order to halve the movement. Okay, first of all, the prow and dorsal weapons of this slaughter and lancers will fire into him, but unluckily or luckily from your point of view, both of your cruisers are under brace for impact.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do the small ones first. The batteries on 6s, not a single one of them, and them on 6s. 1/6 is just a shield.
That's the shield.
And now we've got two lances on 4s into your ship. Oh, you were lucky, lots of fire.
Oh, why did I even brace?
And no damage done. And now we've got a huge amount of firepower into this one. First of all, 3 batteries on 6s, none of them. Let's do the other batteries. And here, even 2 more. On 6s. Just 1/6.
Wow.
Okay, and then we've got 6 lances left. 2, 4, 6.
That's gonna hurt.
None.
Okay.
1.
1. I might try to prevent the damage on a
4
4.
plus.
Yes!
And the last 2 before my ordnance. Yep.
Another one. Was that another lance?
Yep.
Okay. Nope. So that's
1 damage done. Let's see if it's critical. Hoping for a 6. No. Only 1 damage done, but now I've got my ordnance phase. Okay. I'm going to do 3 waves. The first one is bombers and fighters. The second, no, it's 4 waves. One of them only consists of bombers.
They cannot avoid the blast marker, right?
Yeah.
As we learned in one of the comments from one of our previous
So
games,
when-
the blast marker will always cause damage on the roll of
When
6.
do they blow up?
On a 6.
On a 6. Okay, so for the bombers only on a 6. No.
Okay.
For bombers and fighters,
Yep. So this wave is gone. Collided with the blast marker.
bombers and fighters, no. And the last one, bombers and fighters.
Oh wow, that was unlucky. That was really unlucky.
Okay, so
But still, there is bombers and 1 fighter wing, right?
yeah.
Okay. So this one was the bomber that I intercepted the fighters, and that one is the combined force,
Yeah.
right? Okay. For this one, it's I attempt with the defensive turrets. It's halved since I'm on brace for impact, so
Okay.
only 1 die, 4 up. Yep. So these are shot down. And then over here, if I even manage to shoot something down, at first it's gonna be the fighters.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kill the fighters, but the bomber wave still is attacking my ship. So this works as follows: you roll a d6, and it's okay.
4.
It becomes a 3 because I have 1 turret.
Okay.
So now you have 3 dice, and you need to break the armor, which is 6.
Pooh. Yeah,
Lucky
this
me.
was incredibly bad shooting.
So-
Only 1 wound out of, let's say, 8 lances and
Buckets full of dice, and basically only 1 wound. That was incredibly lucky. No pun intended, but Emperor be braced.
we can see how many debris markers will remove. 6, so all of them.
No,
And that's
they are in base contact.
Okay.
They cannot be removed.
so, and I think that's the end of my second turn.
Yep.
This is a mistake. It was my second turn.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, second turn for the Space Marines. Since Marcus was, because of the angle of attack, not in any position to fire upon my escort squadron, I was attempting to give him a special order, which was successful. So as you can see by the dice in base contact with my 2 escorts, they are on full speed ahead, and I was rolling really high because I rolled a 19. So it was 54 centimeters in total that they could speed up to, and they made it almost off the table, which was really good. For my 2 strike cruisers, who are limping a little bit behind because of the blast markers, their speed was reduced by 5 centimeters. So they progressed their 20 centimeters that they were left with. And since I'm still on being braced for impact, my firepower is halved. So all that I'm gonna get out of my firepower is a single die roll for my weapons batteries and a single die roll for my bombardment cannons. And this strike cruiser is attempting to fire upon the War Master's battleship, or not battleship, cruiser. So this one on a 5. Yes, so that's the blast marker for having downed a shield. And then the bombardment cannon always hits on 4s, which it does, but it also only takes away a second shield. And then over here, that strike cruiser, basically exactly the same thing into the devastation carrier. First off, the attempt with the regular firepower, nope. And the bombardment on 4 ups, yep, but it only takes away the shield. And then we can move the ordnance. I can move up to 20 centimeters. I would have a total of 3 Thunderhawks. The question is, what do I attack? Do I try to hit the devastation carrier with 1 Thunderhawk and the other 2 into your War Master's ship? Or am I trying to actually hit you with all Space Marines I got in orbit? I think I'm gonna send all 3 of them onto your War Master's ship. There's debris markers, so let's see if I make it through. They all survive, so they all make it into contact. And now, since it's a Thunderhawk and not a bomber, it's hit and run attacks. You can also try to down them. You also have defensive turrets.
I've got 3 of them on
4 ups.
On 4s. Come on, baby.
Okay.
1 is down.
1 got shot down. And then there's 2 of them that make hit and run attacks. It's a D6 for each Thunderhawk.
Okay.
And the result is +1 because of the Space Marines. So first die 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. It causes a fire.
Okay.
There's no initial additional damage, but in all further turns, if you do not prevent the fire from spreading by rolling your repair rolls, you will get an extra point of damage.
Okay.
And the second Space Marine hit and run attack is a 3, which becomes a 4. Your port armament is damaged until repaired. And the 2 Thunderhawks will be removed from game. And then we do remove
counters.
1 die 6 blast markers. I'm gonna remove this one.
Okay, then I'm going to repair some stuff. I've got...
How many hit points does the ship have? 8 or 10?
I think it's got 8, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, the regular Chaos Cruisers has 8, so it's 8 attempts. On a 6 you will repair the damage. Port armament and a spreading fire aboard, so choose wisely. Fishing for those 6s.
2 of them will be enough. Oh, not a single one of them, that's bad.
Okay, so you're on fire and you do not have port weapons.
And I'm down to 7 wounds.
Not really. It didn't cause a damage point.
Okay.
It will next round if you do not prevent the fire.
Okay. So, and that's the end of your second turn. Okay, we're back after my 3rd turn, and unfortunately I hadn't hit them earlier. So this time I need to make every gun and cannon count, but even so, or even this way, I've only got 5 shots at the fleeing escorts, and unfortunately Admiral Chris managed to get the right orders for all 4 of them to be on lock on or brace for impact. So, let's start. Maybe let's start over there first. 3 on 5s. 2 of them.
Oh, hang on. You're locked on. We rolled the one that missed.
Okay.
Okay, so 3 hits.
3 hits, and you've got no.
So, shields.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first one would kill unless I roll
A 4
my
plus.
brace, which I do.
And then I've got 2 lances into them. On 4s.
Reroll.
Yep.
4 ups. Yes! Yes!
Ooh. I think that's it. I won't see them away. And then I can only do these into him.
Ordnance batteries. 1 6s.
1.
Takes out the shield.
Only 1.
Brace for impact. Safe roll. Yep.
And then 2 lances on 4s.
1.
One
Brace
of
for
them.
impact. Nope, failed. So it definitely takes a wound. And you may try to make it critical. Which you do. So what happens?
So 2d6.
3.
It's not
The
much.
starboard armament is damaged. Okay.
Okay, and then we've got our 2 waves of attackers into him. One and the other one.
So my defensive turrets
Yeah.
against the first wave kills the
Fighters.
fighters. Against the second wave also kills the fighters. So only the bombers remain.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, it's a d6 hits minus 1 for having 1 defensive turret. So the first one is 0. The second one is 5, becomes a 4. So 4 dice versus the armor.
1 6.
Do I prevent it because of being braced? No, I don't.
Let's see if it's critical. No.
But it did take away a second wound.
Oh, this wasn't enough. I would have needed another one to cripple it. And I think now I can only try to repair some stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 dice. So for 2 6s this time. Yeah, 1 6, 2 6.
So all repaired, no further damage. Good roll. And then you do remove blast markers.
Over there.
Okay.
And I think that's the end of my 3rd turn, and we won't even need our 6 turns because by then they are back on Holy Terror.
So, 3rd turn, Space Marines. The escorts moved as far as they could. Same for the 2 strike cruisers. Both of them moved the maximum distance they are allowed to travel forward. There's not much shooting going to take place this round, just like in the last round. The 1 strike cruiser is again trying to hit the War Master in his ship. So regular ordnance battery and 1 time for the bombardment batteries. Red die on 5s, black die on 4s. Okay, it's just taking away a shield. So 1 blast marker in contact. Other than that, there's no way that I can start ordnance. I'm still braced. I can try to repair my ship. I have 4 wounds remaining. So 4 dice for damage control. Looking for that 6 to repair my armament. Nope. So it's gonna stay damaged. And we do remove 1 die 6 blast markers, so a single one. Doesn't really matter. Let's take this one. that is it for my third turn.
Okay, we are back after my fourth turn, and as you can see, the highly maneuverable ships have already passed through my wall of cruisers. Only my heavy cruiser, which is on lock-on, commanded by the Chaos Captain or the Chaos War Master, is able to fire the last 2 batteries and 2 lances, and I rolled for leadership in order to be able to target them because they are softer targets. Okay, let's start with them on 5s, and I may reroll.
And don't forget to mention that I failed to brace.
Yeah, this time you were unlucky.
Reroll. You are locked on.
1, and now I've got 2 shields gone.
Yeah.
And now I can do 2 lances, and I can also reroll them. 1,
dead.
and now I'll use my army reroll because I bought one.
Go for it.
Come on. No.
Still just 1 dead.
Yep.
But at least there's 1 dead.
At least 1 ship killed. Yeah, and I think I can't repair stuff. I can only remove some markers.
You can also still move your
then-
ordnance. They might not reach something, but you can still move them. If you want.
Thanks for reminding me. I think maybe if I'm really lucky and one of them gets crippled, I can
Up to 20.
use them in the end to do some damage. Okay, and that's the end of my 4th turn.
Alright, 4th round for the Space Marines. In a series of good rolls, I managed to give full speed ahead to the remaining escort ship and to one of the strike cruisers. And I rolled really good because I rolled an 18 for both of the ships. So 18 plus the 25 centimeters they can regularly travel was 43 centimeters. That was enough to get both ships off the table edge on Marcus's table side. You can still see one of the strike cruisers that is still on the table, even though he rolled really high for how much he could travel. It was not good enough to get him off board. So Marcus has 1 more turn to damage it, and let's face it, if you can do 2 more damage, it at least will be counted as a crippled ship, so you know it's worth another bunch of points. So no shooting from my side, no ordnance from my side, nothing to repair on my ship. So all that remains is getting rid of some blast markers. Not that it's playing a lot of a role, but yeah, it's basically all of them. And that is it. And then Marcus's next turn.
So we're back after my 5th movement, and as you can see I didn't move them any longer because they won't matter. Maybe I'll move them. And I was lucky to get lock on for my large one. So I've got 3 batteries and 2 lances into him. He's so close to the edge that he can probably see the Golden Throne on Holy Terra or Mars, the Mars ship dock facilities where his stuff can be repaired. And Chris tried to give brace for impact, but this time he failed.
Yeah, ethically
So maybe-
failed with rolling a 12.
So maybe this time I'm lucky. Let's see. 3 batteries on 6s.
Rerollable. Reroll him. So that's the shield. And it stays with the shield.
And 2 of them on 4s.
Rerollable. Okay, so I do take 1 more damage.
Now you're down to 4. It's not even crippled.
It's not crippled yet.
And then
So the question is, what does the
do I get a
damage
critical?
do? Yeah, is it critical?
No.
Okay.
And I think that's the end of the game. We'll be back with a short conclusion. Okay, and we're back. Congratulations, Chris, on a great victory. You've succeeded in breaking the blockade.
Yep.
Nearly all of your troops managed to move past the enemy cordon of Chaos ships. And I think victory points wise, it's more than 300 points versus my 40 for the destroyed escort.
Yeah, I mean, the ships that survived and made it off the table edge was worth 330 points in total, and the one escort I lost, which is scored points for you, is worth measly 40 points. So in the end, it paid off not to really try to shoot it out with your fleet, and instead focusing on just speeding as much as I could to get across the table. In the defense of Marcus's playstyle, he did nothing wrong in my opinion. It was just some really bad die rolls on his behalf in this game. That one shooting phase with a bucket load of dice and really nothing happened because I luckily succeeded with my brace for impact rolls, and his initial damage that he could have dealt out with so many dice did not really make any significant damage to any of my ships. So there was that one turn that could have immediately changed the whole way that game would have played out. But yeah, I was really lucky there. It was really nothing wrong in the way you played. It was just me being very lucky and you really unlucky with your dice rolls.
I think out of these around 30 dice, only a single wound at one of your larger ships. I just mentioned I should have targeted the small ones earlier.
Yeah.
So because of targeting the larger ones, the cruisers of the Space Marines,
Yeah,
I wasted all my 5s.
They are really tough.
And if I had wiped out the small ones first, maybe I could have then focused my fire or spread them. But the main problem was Chaos Space Marines are really tough, have got a lot of wounds and firepower, but they aren't very maneuverable. And after the bad shooting in, I think, my second turn, only half of my force was left on the right area of the table where it could do some damage.
Yeah. Also, your choice of the cruisers that you've selected for that battle, yes, they are very cheap and they do have a lot of firepower. But in my opinion, what I don't like about those two cruisers that you had is they only deal out damage up to 30 centimeters of range, which I'm used to because I play Space Marines mostly and they don't have any further distance that they can shoot at. But one of the big advantages on the Chaos fleets is their high distance that they can fire the batteries at. And you chose the two cruisers that only have 30 centimeters. So in like no time I was out of range. So that's something to consider maybe for a new fleet that we are going to battle it out.
It would be really interesting to see the Space Marines against the Eldar, because both of them are highly maneuverable.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see them one day. Yeah. But the mission itself is great. I think it's really interesting. There's a lot of excitement involved in the beginning, where you have to roll in which part of the deployment zone your ships appear. I was lucky because I got my ships in 2 out of 3 deployment zones at least. Yeah. If all of them had been in one, Chris could have just...
Well, actually, I was even thinking
opened
about...
the throttle and then...
I was actually even thinking about that. I mean, there was 1/3 of the table that you did not deploy in because of your rolls at the beginning of the game. So I could have easily picked that, table edge that was furthest away and then just try to fly through as fast as I can. But I thought, you know what? No, let's make it a little bit interesting and let's try to push through the middle, Space Marine style. Tip of the spear, right into the heart of the enemy. No fear whatsoever.
And in the end, they really
they made it through.
Quite successful.
Yep. All right. Then we'll see each other for the next upcoming Battlefleet Gothic game. The next one we are going to play is probably Eldar versus Chaos again.
Yeah, but there's one problem. I haven't painted the Void Stalker yet, which I need for 1,500 points.
Shame on you. Unpainted model on the table.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Alright guys, thank you. See you next time.
Bye.